Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Q&A session. So this is how Charity Digital can make your email marketing easier and more affordable using the powerful dotdigital platform. I'm James, the e-commerce manager here at Charity Digital, and I'll be your host for today's session. I thought it would be good to start off. With a bit of context about our mission for those that don't know. So Charity Digital are a charity that helps other charities increase their impact by being more digital. We have two primary charitable activities. So one is providing access to the software products charities need at dramatically reduced prices. We also publish content, so that's articles, podcasts, and videos, and run webinars and events that educate charity professionals and volunteers on how to make better use of digital tools and technologies. Liz is here to give you a demonstration of the dotdigital platform, so I'll hand over to her so she can introduce herself.
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Elizabeth Carter and I've been working at Charity Digital for over 14 years now, so quite a long time. And I've been working with email marketing for that time as well. And it is a pleasure for me to go through a demo on the dotdigital platform with you all. James, do you want to give some housekeeping and then I'll make a start? Does that sound good?
Yes, lovely. Thank you, Liz. So yeah, just before we begin, I just want to remind you that this webinar is recorded. So the recording with subtitles and supporting resources will be made available to you over the coming days. So just keep an eye on your inbox and I'll be sending those around to you. If you have a question during the demonstration, please pop it in the chat box on Zoom. We'll go through these at the end, or if it's appropriate, I'll raise them with Liz during the demo. Once the session ends, I'll send a link so you'll be prompted for feedback. We'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can continue to help your organization. So it should only take about a minute. So if you could do that, then that would be amazing. Without further ado, I will hand back over to Liz.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me go over to my first slide. So a lot of people say, okay, dotdigital, non-for-profit package, what did Charity Digital actually offer? And just to give you a little bit of background, we have been a partner and reseller for dotdigital for over 15 years. I probably think it's actually coming up to 20. And we offer discounted pricing and tailored support. And we offer a more easy, manageable feature versions that's ideal for small and medium-sized charities. So what you will be actually seeing is the dotdigital platform. It's rebranded with our colors and with our name. And I'm going to be looking at, with all of you, boosting engagement rates, improving your email personalization, increase your customer retention, integrate your data, and hopefully improve your email deliverability. So we're going to be looking at all of those aspects. So the first aspect, I'm going to be concentrating on split testing and the easy editor and going over mobile display, graphics, video, socials, and dynamic content. Then with your email personalization, where we're looking at subject titles and content, and increase customer retention, where we'll be looking at the segmentation, the automation, the marketing preferences tool, and to integrate your data, we'll just be having a look at sort of dotdigital, which is an open source platform. I'll explain a little bit about that. The sign-up forms, the contacts, and the addresses that you've got there. And deliverability, we'll be having a look at reporting, the metrics, the bounces, and the spam, which is obviously on everyone's lips. I'm just switching screens, so just bear with just for a couple of seconds. And I've got to move this down and I'll go over into here. Everyone see that fine? Okay, great. Right, so let's start off, and this is our dashboard that we're in at dotdigital at the moment, and we're going to be actually having a look at this campaign down here. So I'm just going to go into the summary screen. Now, if you do have a question, please raise it. I won't really be looking at the chat at all. I'll just be carrying on and just ploughing ahead, but James will flag it up if it's relevant. Now, the split testing function and enables you to test several variables. Okay, just let me go over here and I'm going to edit that within your campaign, such as the subject title. Here it is just there. and the friendly from name, the content, and even your email address. So you have the option to split test all of these. Now, each version of your campaign is analysed to determine which is the best performing one. And what it does is it just sends out a small percentage as a test and then analyses it, and then it sends out the rest to the one that is performing the best. So this allows you to test and maximise your campaign using the best performing content. And this one here, the subject lines, is critical for content engagement. Your friendly from is really, really useful to find out the name that your content, that your contacts best respond to. And then you've got a creative here, which will identify the most effective template or content for your campaign. And then the from address, where just you can see which your audience responds best to. Now, these are really nice features to have to boost engagement, okay? That's what we're concentrating on just for the next few minutes. So within the split testing as well, you have a function that you can add in your emojis, you can add in personalization, and you can always also add in our campaign settings, dynamic content for your subject title. Now, dynamic content gives you the power of highly targeting and engaging people with your subject title. So you can have it switched on or switched off, and it's completely up to you. And what you can do is, if you are sending out your campaign to different audiences, supposing it's regional audiences, then you might have a different subject title according to different regions, a different one from Scotland, from a different one from Wales, but in that way that you are targeting your audiences. Now, it's obviously with the split testing, it does come over time. So you have to try it out and over a few campaigns. It's not something that you can just do once and then see what happens. But you really need to test your audience, what works best with your audience. And once you've got that, then you know how to continue with the most engaging subject title. We could talk all day about subject titles and what are the best ones. Obviously, probably everybody knows that you have to be careful with your subject title, and it's best not to use all capital letters and really keep down the punctuation and keep down those spammy words as well. Now, I'm within the actual email editor, that's what it's called. We've got a build on our displays here. And this is the campaign that I'm going to be showing you today. And I just wanted to go down to mobile display, which is in your styles and in your mobiles here, just this one here. Okay, so mobile display is designed really for mobile users. And it shouldn't really be viewed as a separate component to your regular email marketing. And you need to create a smooth and effortless experience for your audience across all the touch points, because that's our ultimate goal. So it enables you to optimize your campaign, and you can set the visibility down here. So you could set it just to show on mobile devices, or you could set it to show on your desktop. You could hide elements, you can preserve image sizes, and you can stack content or not stack content. So that really gives you the flexibility to make sure that it's looking good on every mobile device that you're doing there. Now, let's go back to our build here. And as you can see, what I've got up at the top, I have got a video in here. And this is of Nick, one of our old colleagues. And using video is a fantastic way to boost your engagement. Videos are intriguing. They make people open up your emails more effectively. You can drag them over just by this button down here. Where's the video one just down there? We can drag it over just like that and place it in. And you put your URL of the video in there, and you can choose an image, or it will put in sort of the first frame of your video there. And as you can see in the build as well, you've got lots of other engaging things that you can use. Just let me move over to the graphics, because images are an essential part of an email design. Obviously, not everybody can accept an image-based email. If you're working for a governmental body, or if you're working for a school, you might just receive a plain text one. But generally, you can accept those, your server does, and they draw readers in and they persuade them to consume the rest of your email. So they have to, images are also, well, as human beings, we process the images a lot faster than text. And dotdigital allows you to easily insert these in. So you can just go down to the image storage here and you can upload them and just drag them over. So what I've got down here, I've got a few images, and once that's in there, then I can just switch it over with a click of a button and just put that in there. Now, the easy thing to do with dotdigital is obviously add an alt text, and you can do that just there. Put that in. You can put a link over the image as well. They're really easy to use. I do recommend them. You don't know what your audience, what maybe problems your audience might have. They may be using screen readers, or they may have their images turned off. So you always have to put your alt text in, and it's a really easy way to do that. So also, let's just go very, very quickly to our socials. And this is down here. We can use our socials or our sharing. Up at the top, what I put in is just a sharing icons here, and share our news. So that gives you the opportunity for your email recipients to share this campaign on their social networks. Obviously, it doesn't cost anything at all. You are sharing, you're doing an amazing thing by sharing. You are giving them the opportunity to share your good news on their social networks. And then down at the bottom, it's very easy just to drag in your social networks. And you can drag the element over just like that. And it will bring that up. And you can choose them and put the URLs in just there. And we can delete an object. So obviously your subscribers can share, and you can use your Facebook. They can add it to their Facebook post. And that sort of gives an element of trustworthiness within your audience, and more people will learn about you, and you'll have a higher chance of adding more subscribers to your mailing list. If you do also add a sign-up form onto Facebook, that will feed into the dotdigital platform as well. Now, I did speak about dynamic content as subject title, but I just want to talk about it just here, which is this element here. And this can be added into the content of your email. And this is a fantastic feature that will allow your contacts to receive different content. You're sending out one email, but they can receive maybe different content, different offers, different images, different calls to action, depending on the data fields that you have in there. And you can send it to multiple targeted messages for different groups of clients and customers. And each message can be different within one email. So it's a really good way of personalizing your emails using dynamic content, and it's a lot easier than sending out and setting up all different emails with the different content. You just send one out, and it has three elements to it. You've got the default here, and that's so your contacts don't see any rules. And then you can set up rules with your variations, and they meet specific criteria. And you can set up as many rules as you wish. I don't know whether you want it far too complicated, but supposing we've got a rule for gender, and maybe I shouldn't use that one because gender is not quite as easy and to explain, but maybe you've got male and female. We won't include all the other genders, and you just want to put some content in a male one that is different from a female one, or we could go back to regions and you've got different content in there. So let's just move on, and I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to get rid of that and go up to the top. And can you see in just here? Now, improve email personalization. You have to use personalization. It's so important, and it's really easy. And you use it with a data field just here. And you can use any personalization for any data fields that you have. And it's a great tool. And really, it gives you, the email has this, it's sort of a better tool over social media, that you can personalize anything they receive. It is straight for them. Social media is sort of more of a mass communication tool. But with personalization, maybe you want to put the first name in, or you would like to put the donation amount or any data that you hold. And once you've put that in just there, I'm just going to fit in the first name. So you can say hi, whatever, and then you can easily have a look at the preview of that and just see if that personalization is working correctly. Now let's go back. And did we have any questions so far on that, James?
So we've had a few. I was going to save some for the end, but it's a good place to add them in. Yep. So we've had one so far. Is dotdigital compatible with Salesforce? Is that something to come on to later?
Yep, that was something that we'll come on to later. I will
Not a problem.
Yep.
We've had, so you mentioned keeping down the spammy words. Could you list these? So I found an article, how to prevent emails going to spam on the Charity Digital website, but was just wondering if you had any specifics that you've seen.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because lots of people will probably want to put the word in free or offer, and you can use that, but just not on a regular basis. If you use it every now and then it probably won't get caught up in spam. But like you say, James, the best thing to do is just to Google it and just to see what the latest spam words are. I would also recommend trying to get the best out of your subject title is the information should be within the first 60 characters. And if you use emojis in your subject title, they don't get caught up in spam, and they can be quite attractive as well to your audience. It depends, obviously, on the nature of the email campaign that you're sending out.
Definitely. Thank you very much. On the basis of spam, since we're talking about it, Laura said, I had heard that images increase the likelihood of going to spam. Is this the case? And if so, how many images would you recommend limiting emails to?
It is the case with Gmail. Gmail is really quite sensitive, and the less images you have in your campaign that goes out to lots of Gmail clients, probably the better. I would say 50-50 ratio. So you have 50% images, you have 50% text. But yeah, just bearing in mind, if you have an audience full of Gmail addresses, then you probably have to tailor it accordingly and just have very few images. It's a lot more sensitive. But generally, you shouldn't really have too much of a problem if you keep to the thumb rule 50-50.
Brilliant. Yeah, the images just add weight to the email, don't they? And if the email's too heavy, it won't then get delivered. One thing on images is just make sure that any text that you have in an image, you also have the text as words within the email, just so that either if people's emails don't load, if they just open it and you've only got images, that would just purely be blank. And then apart from that, just for accessibility, if people have voice readers that will read out their emails to them, if it's just full of images, they'll just get a blank message. So
yes, exactly.
For those two reasons.
And yeah, you can easily add that just going to your image title and putting a title in like that. It's so important to do as well, because I have my images turned off by default. So like you say, James, I would just have an empty box. But if I had the title in there, then people would obviously, if it's a call to action, then people will hopefully will click on that and you're not losing that.
Brilliant. Yeah. And just one final one on this section, Liz. Miles has said, please explain external dynamic content and internal. Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, well, the internal dynamic content is what I actually placed in there, which is that one just down here, that one there. And that is when you just send out one email and that's going to different audiences. I haven't set one up, actually. I probably should have done just to show as a demo. It takes a few minutes to set it up. But supposing you have an event going on in different regions of the country and you want Scotland to receive a different content from what England has. So you just create it in here with different variables according to your regions there. The external dynamic content here is something that at this moment in time, we are unable to offer through dotdigital, but that will probably change at the end of July when we'll be getting a fuller version in as well. So what I would do is at the end of this, will put that link to the external so you have a good article there to read. Yep.
We do have some that I think we'll come on to later.
Yep.
But for now, I believe that is all the questions for this section.
Okay, I just wanted to give you a stat before I move on that personalized emails have shown to produce 139% increase in the click rate compared to static sends. So it is really, really important to grab that information that you do have from your audience and insert that in your emails. Okay. Okay, so obviously there are so many features in the dotdigital platform that we haven't got time to go over all of them, but I'm just going to be concentrating on the blocks that I showed you at the beginning there. So let's go over now and let's just have a look at all contacts. Okay, so I'm just leaving the page. It's asking me to leave the page. I don't want to save anything there. Okay. So let's talk about increased customer retention. And we've got our mother file here, and that's got all of our contacts in. And then under this, we have loads and loads of address books. You can have an unlimited amount of address books. And you can have an unlimited amount of contacts within those address books. So there's absolutely no charge for uploading or storing your contacts within the platform. And then you can just filter people through and be targeted as you wish. It's a little bit slow, so that's only just come up there. So apologies if it's a bit glitchy. Now, over here, we've got our segments. This is a really nice feature, okay? And you can use the segments to cater for specific campaigns to your content, your contact's needs or wants or maybe passions, rather than just settling for a one size fits all. So with your segmentation, you're delivering personalized targeted campaigns to the right people, okay, with the right content, behavior, address books, marketing preferences, and it can drastically improve the effectiveness of your email marketing campaigns. And I was reading actually the other day that segmented campaigns average a 46% of a high open rate as well. So if we're just going to go into a campaign here, just let me go into, let's go into this one there. Okay, so there's ways to segment your contacts within dotdigital. And we've got our contact behavior here on the left-hand side. And that's based on past campaigns that you may have sent to the contacts and they've responded or interacted, they've opened them up, they clicked on a link, whatever. And then we've got our data fields down here. So this is using the data that you hold for those contacts within there. And then we've got other things that you can incorporate in. So you can make them as simple or as complicated as you wish. And it's also a really good way to sort of clean up your data as well, because you may just want to use a segment and say, right, I just want to target the people that haven't been engaging with us in the last 6 months, and you quickly whip out a segment and you can put those people to one side because you really need to target those people with a special email that's worded very, very differently from people that are engaging with you. And you can have with these segments a maximum of 1,000. We will never get to that. Maybe some people will. And each segment can contain up to 30 rules. So you really can go crazy and just do that. And you've got a geo queries here. So this is based on where your contacts are based. And I'm trying to open it up. I'm so sorry. It doesn't seem to be responding, does it? Right.
Always the same with screen sharing. It slows everything down, doesn't it?
It slows everything down really drastically, and I can't get into that. And it's always the same that when you're, doing a presentation, it goes really slow.
It knows.
It seems to try my patience.
Yeah.
So let's just choose something here. I'm going to leave it on postcode. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to say, right, I just want to target maybe this address book here, because that's quite a bigger one there. So your geomapping function provides you with a visual overview of where your contacts are. You can do it on an IP, you can do it on postcode throughout the world, and you can scroll right in so you can view the hotspots on a map and select the map areas. And with the click of a mouse, you can add them geographically to a selected address book. And I can scroll right in, but I won't do that because I know it's slightly delayed. But you can scroll right into street names. Have I got any questions on that before I move over to automation?
Nothing has come through in the chat as of yet.
Okay, brilliant. So marketing automation, now this is really good for customer retention because it improves your productivity by about 20% if you're using it right and the ways that you use it. So the automated programs are a great way to get the right message to the right people rather than manually building every email campaign. And you've just got a targeted segment there that you can use. And it takes email campaigns and takes people through the right stage of every journey. So I've just set up one here for you to have a quick look at. Okay, can everyone see that? So again, you can make these as simple or as complicated as you wish. You can sort of execute personalized and contextualized post campaigns with minimal effort. We've got over here lots of decisions and multi decisions and date splits that you could put in. But what I've got is that this is our start, the present, and the address book, and then they get split out according to whether they've ticked on a marketing preference. And then they're placed, if they're in this address book, yes, they'll be sent a campaign. So it is an effective way to make a good impression with new customers. Now, if you're going to send out a single triggered email, maybe it's a thank you one, you wouldn't be using your automation, you'll be using a different feature, a different tool that allows you to easily set up a triggered thank you. But this is a great way, especially for fundraising, and if you've got events coming up and you need to send out reminders, or if you've got memberships and you've got the membership date that's going to be renewed very soon. So it's a really nice tool to have. And let's just go down to marketing preferences.
So I have a question that's come through from Christine.
Yeah.
So rather than adding people manually, can we get people added automatically by clicking on a button on our website?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's really, really easy to do. And I will, let me think. Let me just do the marketing preferences and then I'll go over that for you, Christine. Yep, I'll go over the sign up function for you. So with our marketing preferences, it's a preference center. It's sort of a form to improve your communications with your clients. So you're giving them an easy way how to contact you and the data that you hold. And it's so when they come actually to unsubscribe or to subscribe, you can give them options. Do they want to opt into this? Do they want to opt out of that? So it's the best way really that you're not losing that person by the unsubscribing from everything. You're actually asking them a question. What do you want to opt out of? And this is a tool. If you make your marketing preference public, then it will show in the unsubscribe form. And all of the others I've got here are private. And I'm just going to bring up a Word document. Just let me see if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is update your preferences. This is just a form, an example of a form that you can have a look at. You can obviously change all of these details here. You don't have to have any details there at all. You can make them public or private and then down to your preferences. So they can be in subsections as well. So that just gives you an idea of what an unsubscribe form could look like. And just let me close that down. And I'm back, aren't I? Yeah.
Yes.
So you could use them alongside a whole range of features of your marketing. And it's really just empowering you to use the best tools, really, to be personalized with your communications. So your contacts can change their details or they can change what they want to hear about. And also they could actually say whether they wanted to receive image-based emails, whether they just want to receive plain text emails. Have we got any questions on that, James?
Nothing on the additional part that you just went over.
Okay, fantastic. You can also use preferences in the automation, the program builder as well. So you can bring people into a journey based on the preferences that they have chosen. Now, we had a few questions, didn't we, James? You were saying about importing in from Salesforce?
Yes, so the question was, is dotdigital compatible with Salesforce?
Well, the question is that dotdigital could be compatible with any system. Dotdigital is an open source platform. So basically that means that you can integrate with pretty much any other platform as long as you have the know-how. And there's a great hub of knowledge. And I knew that question would pop up because it always does. So I'm just going to pull that down there and show you this page here, which is the developer hub at dotdigital. And this has loads of guidance and knowledge. It's a knowledge-based one, and you can basically pull up any call that you want. The dotdigital API is based on a family of REST web services that provides access to a huge range of dotdigital functionality. And the API will allow you to automate many of your daily tasks. And so it will carry these out in real time. Now, a lot of people do say about Salesforce, because it was very, very popular, probably going about 15 years now, a lot of charities did take, say, Salesforce on. Dotdigital do have a customized Salesforce app that you can plug in. And this gives you the flexibility of going into your Salesforce and actually creating your emails within your Salesforce account. And it just speaks to each other. So that's really nice. And if you want any more information on that, I can't show you that in working form, but if you want any more information, then please get in touch with me. The other thing, obviously, some people just want maybe just one call or 2 calls or 3 calls. That means they would like the email address imported in from their database, or maybe the first name, or maybe the second name as well. And dotdigital, if it's a simple sort of request, then they can help you out with coding if you don't have anyone at your end, or any IT agency or anyone in your organization. And dotdigital, you know, will sort of give you a quote for how much they would charge for that. Are there any questions popping up about the API? Because I could go into it in a lot more detail. I just don't know whether it's
Nothing about the API. Teresa has asked, how does dotdigital compare against MailChimp?
Oh, Teresa, that's such a good question. MailChimp is a massive international email marketing platform, as we all know, and they have a standard basic Salesforce integration. I don't know whether you're using that at the moment, and I don't know how good that is. Maybe if someone is on the Zoom with us and they could tell us how they're finding it. I have quite a few clients that come over from MailChimp because they say that it doesn't work that well for them, but I'll be interested to hear other people's experiences. If you could put it in the chat to see how that works for you, that would be great. But if you don't want to do an API, let's go back. If you don't want to do an API and you just want to do your normal upload and download, then it's really easy to upload using a new address book, or you can add new contacts onto the address books that you've also got in the account here. Just add new contacts in. And that's the simplest and the easiest way to just upload your data. And obviously, like I've said, there's absolutely no charge and no limit for that. And you can have all sorts of data fields associated with the data that you've got. So you can go to your contact data fields and build as many contact data fields as you wish for your data there. So it all depends really on your organization requirements. You've got your default ones there. Can you see that you can make them private or public just by clicking on the properties icon? And you can go into your custom data fields and just create as many as you wish. So when you actually come to upload this in, dotdigital actually takes you through a watchdog process. And what that happens is, actually, before I say that, sometimes the watchdog does flag up an address book if it has more than a size of 15 MB. So if you have a huge, absolutely huge, full of millions of email addresses, then that file might struggle to upload in one session. But you can use a special feature that will allow you to stagger the upload of the file, so it will go in. And the watchdog, let me go back to that. Sorry, I'm flitting and flirting around, aren't I? No, I can't really show you one there. That's fine. So what it does, initially when you upload your data, the watchdog would actually check to see whether that data is clean, whether it's reliable, whether it's safe to send, whether there's any reason for the platform is quite intelligent. If it's sort of a known spammer, then it will flag that up immediately and it won't be allowed to be imported into your account. So when you first import email addresses in, it would take you through that unique checkpoint process. So it's on the outlook for any dodgy email addresses or risky data. So it doesn't, it just goes straight through into your account and it protects your account. Have we got any questions on that before I go to sign-up forms?
So, yes, we have. Kay has asked, can we import our contacts from MailChimp easily?
Yes, really easily. What you do, and I have done this quite a lot of times as well, is that you just download, but you have to download the address fields as you have them in MailChimp, and then you upload them in, make sure you have titles for your columns, you upload them into dotdigital, and then you map the titles and it just goes straight in. So the most important thing that you need from MailChimp for your GDPR is actually the created date and the time in MailChimp. And if you bring that over into dotdigital, you have got your record of when that person signed up and when that person was first created in your account. That's just, you know, to protect your back. But it is really easy. It's just using an Excel or a CSV file.
Lovely, thank you. And then I don't know whether this is built in a bit later on, but Christine has asked, please can you remind us of your charges?
Yes, Christine, can you get in contact with me later on and I will send you over a calculator link. We have at the moment an offer. So we've got free email credits if you buy up a support package, and the support package is for the duration of your account with us. So I will send you over our calculator link. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we
but
go to sign up
in
forms?
general, we purchase discounted credits from
Yeah, what we
dotdigital
do is we
and
buy
pass
in
on them.
bulk from dotdigital. We buy in bulk and then we resell on those email credits, as it were, to the charity sector. So we're dedicated to the charity sector, although we do have quite a lot of hospices or NHS trusts and other organisations that aren't a charity in themselves, but they do offer services to the charity sector or a non-for-profit.
Brilliant. We have had a question. Please could you share the calculator link in the chat? I don't have it myself. Shall anyone who wants it just send you a quick email afterwards? Is that the best way to do it?
That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah. I need to dig it out of my inbox. Okay, let's go down to sign up forms, because this is a question. Can you actually have a sign up button on your website that feeds in? Yes, very, very easily. Now, the sign up form are a simple and efficient and really effective way to obtain supporters and donors, and also fundraisers for your organization. So you can easily create the HTML code and you can embed that in a convenient location on your website. So this is the page that allows you to create the code, okay? So you can choose your data fields, you can choose any public preferences that you have, and you can put in any consent text if you wanted to have that. And you can also trigger off a thank you, or you can take them to a thank you page. So that will create all the code for you. And then you can just put that in an iframe on your website and just brand it as you see fit. Now, I would say don't have too many data fields as a sign up, because people, you know, if they look at a long sign up, unless they're so eager to receive your email campaigns, and they'll probably be a bit put off. So the best thing probably would to have, obviously you need, you know, an email address, but just basic data, such as first name, maybe your full name, or yeah, something that's important for your charity to capture in those first instances. But if you just even get the first name, the email address in, and then you can follow up with maybe a different sign-up form on your website that asks for more information, but you just want to capture those people in the first instant, and then you can start engaging with them. Have we got any questions on that, James?
No, so yeah, just to clarify, that was answering Christine's question of adding people automatically from your website.
Yes. Yeah.
We had one that was pre-submitted about how many emails would you say are too many to be sending? Yeah. Do you want that now?
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that right at the end. Do you think so?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll reread it to you at the end.
Okay, fantastic. So let's just now go to improve email deliverability. And we're going to go to our dashboard for this, which is the analysis here. So there's quite a lot of things that you can do to improve the deliverability of your emails, and which measurements are you using, and how many contacts have received your email, and what's the most important factor to take into consideration. So obviously, the whole reason why you have reporting is to view and review and to test out the process of reaching those inboxes for your subscribers. And we know that there's lots of obstacles that can stand in the way of doing this, including emails or bounces or going into spam folders, like we've said. But the email reporting gives you the information of the performance, okay, of your emails. And this is just the dashboard, what I'm showing you here. And we can scroll right down. So this is over a certain period of time, and you can change the period of time.
For me, it's appearing as a black screen at the moment. May need to wait a second for it to load.
Oh dear. Maybe I should. Okay. Should I turn my camera off? Would that be better?
I would give it a go, yeah.
Yeah. Is that still glitching?
Refresh.
Shall I refresh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do apologize to everybody online that I can't show this. It's just, is it still a blank screen for you?
Yeah.
Oh,
fortunately.
no. I can see it actually going a little bit glitchy on here. I wonder what I can do. It's my Wi-Fi.
That working from home issue.
Yeah, this is the issue, isn't it, when you're working from home? No, still no good?
Still no good, unfortunately.
Okay, let me go back. Okay. No good, James?
Still blank.
No. Okay.
Whilst it's sorting itself out, do you think maybe we should answer that question?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to answer that question. So just read me the question again, James.
Yeah, I'll read it out to you again. So Claire has submitted saying, we have a number of teams who obviously all want to email our supporters about different things. We are looking at implementing a monthly newsletter, but in the meantime, how many emails would you say are too many to be sending? Okay,
so how many emails? Well, here the reporting metrics, which I want to show you, will be your judge, really. And if you test the waters for a couple of months and see how you're getting on, you can see whether there's a drop in unsubscribes or less engaged people, and then you know it's too much. So it also depends on your audience. And I sign up, for example, to health newsletters, and I read them every day because I'm really interested and I'm engaged. But if you're asking for donations, people rarely respond to something on the first view, especially when they're asked to participate with, giving them money. So I would say that you have to be frequent with people. And if you're communicating to the same audience, you have to be regular, because you need to build up awareness and trust and ultimately engagement. And I would say at least to the same audience within a 4-week period. But if you've got really exciting news and calls to action and fundraising and things to tell them and things to say, then you can go for more than that. You can go, for once or twice a week. But you always have to keep an eye on your reporting to see how your email recipients are responding. And it's also a good idea to have a preference center in there. So you can ask your people that are signing up, how often do they want to hear from you? Even within a thank you email, you could give them the opportunity of sort of choosing how often, and also giving them an expectation that they will receive this amount of emails from you. So there's no set rule for it. It depends on your audience, but you have to be regular. You do. And that's to build up trust. Are you getting anything from me, James?
Now,
Any screen?
perhaps try slightly, it is glitching. I'd perhaps try stopping it and try sharing one more time. But yeah, just to add on to what Liz has said, here at Charity Digital, we actually send out multiple emails per day, but we segment who we send them to. So as Liz said about having the preferences there, I will send out emails about products and then, or just the software that we have on the store, whereas someone else may send out an email saying there's a new podcast available, or there's this webinar coming up, or we've got a new article. So it's just all about sort of segmenting your audience into their interests and just making sure that they are getting what they have asked for. And as Liz said, you can see from your engagement stats whether people are interested. So if you've got a lot of people unsubscribing as you go along, then maybe you reel it back and send less. But if you look at your open rate and people are opening and clicking and engaging, then you know you're on the right track because people want to receive that email. Okay,
right. It's actually just sort of frozen. Can you still hear me? I think actually there's no problem with Wi-Fi. I've just checked that. It seems like it's Zoom.
Right.
For some funny reason or other. And I don't know whether I can just come out and come back in, or does anybody else have any other questions? Because what I was just going to show you is obviously the reporting suite.
Yeah, are there any questions in the meantime?
Have we got any questions about bounce rates or anything to do with spam?
Could Elizabeth tell us of a few issues that people have found with MailChimp?
Well, apart from sort of the support issues, that obviously, you know, it's all in the chat box and stuff like that. I think people do come to us because MailChimp have recently put the prices up. So they're looking for another platform that's sort of competitive as well, and that works well for them. Also because MailChimp is a international, massive, it's the biggest platform around. You could be placed in any type of pool, which is an IP pool with other people that aren't using it correctly. So supposing you are with a bunch of spammers who are just spamming people all over the place and sending out mass emails, and that's going to affect your reputation, your sending reputation. So with MailChimp, you can actually use any domain as your from address. With dotdigital, you can't do that. Dotdigital won't allow you to use your live domain of your website as a from address. They require you to have a subdomain, because if your from address goes down under investigation, for example, and it's being blacklisted, then your website can be affected as well with that. So dotdigital say that they require a subdomain. That's probably a potential issue that MailChimp could have.
Then Miles asked, is this platform a lot cheaper than MailChimp?
It depends on how many email addresses you have that you're actually uploading and how many you're sending out. I can follow up with a pricing calculator, because what we offer are sort of packages. You can have a support package if you wish, and you don't have to have one, but we charge you for the emails that you send out. So that's why my emphasis was, you have to be targeted, you have to be engaging, because the mass mailing isn't the best way forward. And I would say that lots of people do come to us because they can't afford the MailChimp prices anymore. Any other questions on that? I'm getting slightly desperate that no, I just got a glitchy screen.
So annoying.
I know. I'm so sorry. I do apologise to everybody. I don't know quite what to do.
We don't have any other questions. Perhaps it's better to leave it there. And then if anyone is interested in the platform, to get in contact with Liz and she can give you a further demo.
Yes.
Does that make sense, Liz?
Yeah, no, that completely makes sense. And I do apologise again. This is actually the first time this has ever happened to me. I just can't, I'm moving my mouse in Zoom and it's just not going anywhere.
Typical.
Yeah, it's just glitched completely. And I would love to give you a walkthrough of the platform. Just come and send me an email, and we can sort of discuss your requirements as well, or what you need. And I can go through the reporting, which is what you haven't seen. So that's the main thing there. So the email reports and the dashboard as well, and show you where you can have a look at your suppressed and your bounces and everything like that, because the bounces obviously will give you a really good indication of how well you're doing. It gives you a reason why it's being bounced with a soft bounce especially. So if you're having lots of spam filters flagging it up, then you need to know that you need to change either the subject title or the content of your email. And that in dotdigital is quite extensive, and it's nice to see. So please do follow up with me. Have we got any last minute questions?
Nothing that I can see. I've pasted the email address that you can use to contact Liz. So that's charitymailsupport@charitydigital.org.uk. And then I've also pasted a link just to a quick questionnaire